Spoiler alert, we are going to be looking at Prismatic Evolutions as we are approaching the release. Yes, we know a lot more about what's in this set. Now, if you've been following any of the Japanese side, the Terrestrial Festival side of things being opened, you've already got a good idea of what's going to appear in this coming set in January. However, we've got some interesting news to update on here. So if you don't really want to know, maybe today is not the video for you. If today is the video for you and you appreciate what we do here on V-Rule, then go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. By doing so, you are part of the family here, and I'd like for you to take this extra step for your chance to win the Pokemon 151 poster collection, 2 3-pack blisters of Surging Sparks, and 5 Pokemon mystery card lots. All you have to do is go over to this video here. That's the one where you want to leave an additional comment so you're entered for that giveaway. The thing that's going to trigger that giveaway is once we reach 4,000 subscribers. All right, let's dive in. We're looking at Prismatic Evolutions. We have a visual set list. It kind of gives us an idea of what to expect throughout the entire set. As you can see with any specialty set, the main set series, not the secret rares, not all the special cards, not the ones you're hunting for. It's going to be a very simply limited set. It's small. 175 cards is going to be easy to fill depending on how many openings you do. If you're doing an ETB, no, you're not going to fill 175 cards. But if you're going to go after this and you open one of every product, you're going to have the bulk of this complete in the commons, uncommons. Even those EXs should be complete by that time because you're going to see a lot of good hits coming through here. That's nice for the main set series. However, the meat of it, the bulk of it, the thing everyone is chasing is going to be going after all those secret rares. Now, just scrolling through here and taking a look at this main set series, it looks fine. I don't think there's anything that's standing out in a good or bad way. It's just a decent little set here. The trainers are actually a little bit interesting on the artwork. I feel like there's some difference here. And I don't know if we're going to see this many trainers in it. Maybe. It feels like a lot of trainers for a main set series on a specialty set. Now, there are some discussions being had about illustration rares appearing in the English Prismatic Evolution. Now, we don't have that. In Japanese, there are art rare, which would be our equivalent illustration rare, and then you have the special illustration rare in English to Japanese special art rare, SAR. Now, the SAR cards are the ones that everybody's really going after because they don't have any art rare cards in their set. So, Terrestrial Festival, no art rare cards. Prismatic Evolutions English, possibly illustration rare. Interesting. We only show 2 here. I don't know if those will be the only 2 or if this is just the beginning of that to give us an idea of what's going to be in there. But if there are only 2, man, these should be so easy to pull, considering. All right, so we'll see if that happens. I think that Meowth would be great to have. The artworks are actually fantastic on either of them. Not a big fan of Wooper, but still pretty cool artwork. When we get into our full art trainers, again, this is not uncommon to have a full art trainer, full art supporter cards there, but this is where everybody's aiming. Now, especially the Evolutions, but we have quite a few here. Quite a few to go over, and it's not just Evolutions. I was kind of hopeful that they'd be making it a little bit more saturated on the EV side instead of filling it in with all these others that people maybe just don't want to go after too much there. So what do we got? 24, 27 in here, I think. 12, 24, 27. Is that true? Is that what we're going to see in English? We're going to see 27 special illustration rares? I don't know. I would hope that we have all of the Evolutions, the 2 EV variations, which I think is actually kind of interesting to have 2 variations of the same Pokemon in this level of card. I don't know if I like it or not. I just find it interesting. And we are seeing some throwbacks to earlier sets. You know, you go back to Paradox Rift, and you had Roaring Sky being one of the more sought-after cards there. You go back to Temporal Forces. This comes to mind here. Okay, so there's a lot of different things here. Was that Twilight Masquerade would give us the Ogerpon masks here. So I think it's interesting that they're kind of all coming into this set, although the specialty set often does reflect kind of a snapshot of the past in that the majority, if not all of these should be reprints from other sets, I believe, something to that effect. And then you just have the new set series on there. I don't know for sure if that's the case. I can't recall. Somebody correct me down below if you know a little bit more about that. Throw it in the comment there. But this is what we're after. We're after all the evolutions. We're after all the big pulls. And we're finding in the Japanese side, there's so many openings happening that there's a lot of these out there. It's not that they're common. However, they're not as difficult to find as they could be, for sure. So that's promising. Will we see that in English? I doubt it. I feel like we kind of get the short end of it often, that the pull rates will be really, really terrible, especially for the fact that Terrestrial Festival is a box. That's it. There's one box that you can go after. They do other products that have certain like promo cards in them and things, but as far as I know, it's just a box. You only have one product. I wish they did that in English, that it was just the one box done, even if it was 10 packs like that, and you had just a solid $40 price on it. I mean, they could just turn and burn those constantly. That would just blow up in a whole new way, especially being the first time doing it. However, we have an ETB. We have the 3-pack blisters. We have the binder collection. There's all sorts of different things that you can be getting. And then how does that get seeded? You know, in the Terrestrial Festival, you get a special illustration rare in every single box. It's so much so that it's mappable. You can know where the pull is by pack, depending on opening just a couple packs. You can pretty much know where it's at. So English probably won't be mappable in any way, but is it going to be that much more random? Are they going to be, kind of print centric, meaning the printer is going to have certain cards, so if that distribution comes out of one area, it's going to have all of the new Moonbryon. If a distribution comes out of all one area, you're going to be stuck with just Sandy Shock as your best one or something for a region. We've seen that before, where it becomes saturated by distribution. So I don't know what to expect. There's a lot of speculation. But the thing and the main part we want to get into, first of all, we're not going to see this, but the main part we want to get into are intentionally excluded cards. Now we know that there are certain cards that will not be incorporated into Prismatic Evolutions, namely Evolutions. All of them. All right? We have Evolutions and then a handful of EX cards, which means we will not see these individual cards. We will not see the reverse holo of these cards, and most importantly, we will not see a Master Ball from these cards. Just to give you a quick understanding of how big of news that is, let's take a look on TCG Player Terrestrial Festival. The new Moonbryon, the Umbreon EX, market price is $350. The Master Ball of this card, this Umbreon, the Master Ball is so rare, it's $400. Absolutely crazy. So what does this tell us here? It tells us there's a $400 card, or $375, however you want it there, coming out of the set. This also means that the regular reverse holo, which are not going to be as common as we thought either, but the reverse holos are also coming out of the set. That's a $20 card. We start putting this together. Sylveon Master Ball, $105. The reverse holo Sylveon, $12. Just a quick reminder here. $12 for a simple reverse holo card is not cheap. $12 for a simple rare or uncommon, this may be an uncommon card for the rating, not cheap. That's extremely expensive for something that should be pretty darn prevalent. So it is the evolution popularity combined with the difference, the thing that separates it from normal in the reverse holo slot, putting in a $12, $13.50 card. You need to start realizing the expensive side of these cards and what that means for Prismatic Evolutions if they're not included. $140 on an Espeon Master Ball. Another $15 on the reverse holo Espeon Leafeon Master Ball. Now we're getting down a little bit, but still, this is crazy numbers. I mean, you look at something like, my goodness, Stellar Crown. The second highest card in the set, as far as price point, is about here. It's about $55. That's Squirtle. Okay, so the Master Ball version of Leafeon, a lesser popular evolution, is coming in at 59 if you add in the shipping. The Reverse Holo, there's another 11 to be considered. Another 55 here out of just the Eevee Master Ball. Now, that one's not listed. We don't have Eevee here, so will we see Eevee in our main set? I don't know. In Prismatic Evolutions, will we see the Reverse Holo Eevee in the main set? I don't know. What does that mean? If you take these out, you take out their potential pull, you take out their potential Reverse Holo pull, you take out their potential Master Ball Holo pull. Rough calculation, really rough, because these are not hard numbers. These are not guaranteed. These are not going to tell us exactly what the English market's going to do, but just off of these numbers and the missing cards I couldn't find, giving it a good guesstimate of where that evolution lines up in the entirety of the set and how its popularity would correlate with these others. Rough, and probably on the conservative side of low, we're losing about $1,100 in set value right off the bat. That is gone. So if we start totaling things up for the master set, which would be extremely difficult to achieve, we're taking out $1,100 right off the rip for Prismatic Evolutions. What does that equal? It equals less popularity, less rarity, less investment to complete a master set. Which means if those are missing, there's potential to be pulling others. There's potential to complete what we're going to find out to be the Master Ball for the first time in English. What we're going to find out to be how difficult the Reverse Holo might be. Is it going to be like our normal Scarlet and Violet where we have 2 Reverse Holos every pack? I think that'd be great. That would really bring down the value on the Reverse Holos for the English Prismatic Evolutions. Or are we going to have it more like the Japanese where in a series of 10 packs you might get 3? We don't know. We don't know how it's going to be seeded. We don't know how they're going to list it out. But we see in this set list here, the view list that we have so far, there is no regular Flareon or regular Leafeon. There are only the EX versions here, Glaceon and Vaporeon, moving all the way down to where we'd see, or we would expect to see Eevee. And as far as I remember, I did not see an Eevee in here at all, which led me to believe that perhaps the Eevee is not included, even though it's not in that section stating as such. This is huge news because all of the craziness, all of the going out and selling out in a minute on sites, all of this insane hype for a set that's not out. This is not new for the Pokemon market. However, the difference between the Japanese and the English is so much bigger than I would have expected. Pulling right off the bat $1,000, $1,100 off of the value on Prismatic Evolutions. Now, does that mean that these are all going to be the same, that this in Japanese is going to be a near $400 card and therefore in English it's going to be a near $400 card? Don't know. We don't have that answer yet. Usually they follow closely, but sometimes they're a pretty big difference. If we look at the Pikachu EX out of Surging Sparks, we're at almost $500 in English, whereas in Japanese it's about a $300 card. That's a big difference. That's a big difference. $200 difference. That is crazy. Is it going to be like that in English over the Japanese? If that's the case, I'll hold out. I won't even try to get Prismatic Evolutions, and then I'll just stockpile when prices come down on Terrestrial Festival, because eventually that will go up and the cards are inside, and I can make my peace with that different artwork, different language for that same artwork, rather. I can make my peace with that. So if it ever comes up, right? And we're in the hype. We're in the release. These prices are probably going to start coming down. I don't think we have a good enough data set here. The fact that it's been out for a week or something, week and a half, I don't think we have anything to show much. Yeah, I mean, okay, so it plummeted by $10. Plummeted. It looks like it plummeted. It just didn't move at all, really. So it came down, almost $20 there. Current listings are putting it $300, $340, $350, $350. So I don't know. There's a decent amount of listings here. The market will decide. Buying these singles, hopefully it starts trending downward here. couldn't get a lot off the ground here at these higher prices, so they lowered a little bit and sold a few. Lowered a little bit more, sold a few. So not a lot of big sales happening here. Of course, it's a high dollar card, very difficult and risky to be buying without seeing a little bit more information on it, more pictures, a little communication back and forth. eBay might be a better choice to go, so you have some of those added benefits for your search. But this is very interesting stuff. Absolutely very interesting stuff to see that these may not be included. And what does that mean for English? I could speculate all day, but we really won't know until we get there. So we'll have to wait and see. But for now, let's just calm down, get excited about what's coming, and be happy about it. Do not FOMO. Man, it's hard not to FOMO, but don't pay the price. Don't pay the price. I got 2 boxes of Terrestrial Festival for about $58, $60, $60, somewhere there. I think after shipping, you calculate. And now it's already getting up into like the $75, $80 range pretty frequently. So, okay, we'll wait. We've seen this with other things. V-Star Universe got pretty crazy. You know, Shiny Treasures went crazy. We'll wait, and it'll be okay. What's not going to come down very soon? We got Blooming Waters coming out, but Pokemon 151 is on the growth train. That's where it's at. It's going to be running out very soon. February is going to be done for sure after the Blooming Waters collection. But we got a Pokemon 151 poster collection going out to 1 lucky subscriber, 2 3-pack boosters of Surging Sparks, and 5 Pokemon mystery card lots. All you got to do is like, comment, and subscribe. Be a part of the channel. Check out earlier in the video. I tell you exactly what to do so you can enter. But don't forget to hit the bell because I post 7 days a week. And with that, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.